Okay, so we've all because most cloud applications are of n-tier or 3-tier architecture, so we need a software that will emulate all 3 and possibly more application layers on the single machine. So by using XAMPP, we have on the same machine presentation layer, which is a web browser. This browser is also called the thin client. Then we have this middle layer called the application or business logic layer. In the case of XAMPP, we have PHP, like server-side script, and we have a Perl available. And also we have this, let me say, the bottom layer, which is a database layer. And in the case of XAMPP, we have MariaDB system. It's similar like MySQL implementation. It's basically the same. Okay, basically the same. And finally, we have, like on the very bottom, we have a database. So we have a MySQL, and in this exercise, we will also install a WordPress content management system. But first, so I'm going to show you a few tricks. First, let's please start this XAMPP platform. I have installed this on drive C on default location XAMPP. Okay, so here we have XAMPP start. I will allow access to XAMPP. And then we have this XAMPP control center, which is like a graphical user interface used for managing this. Okay, so here we could like start and stop services. Tomcat service is not started, and we don't need Tomcat. Tomcat is just another implementation of web server like Apache. And as you can see here, besides Apache, that Apache started, so we have option to stop it. And we know that web server uses 2 well-known ports. First port is 80, which is used for establishing non-secure, non-encrypted connections. And the second port is port 443, which is used for establishing secured encrypted connections by using HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, and by using SSL, Secure Socket Layer certificates. But we've already discussed about this. So Apache starting, and also we have this MySQL, which uses default port 3306, and it is also started. So, Stefan, you're having troubles with...
No, here it's working.
Okay, it works. Okay, so, but I just wanted to tell you, to show you how to troubleshoot if you have issues starting MySQL server. Okay, please.
With the map, there's no option to like start and launch specific server at a time. You can just start all servers. That won't be a problem, right?
No, that one, because in this case we need only Apache web server, and we need MySQL or MariaDB like database instance. Okay, it will be not a problem. So let me show you a few tricks. Okay, first, if we go to command prompt like this, cmd, for example, if you want to log into your MySQL, you should type like MySQL. But in your cases, this command may not work.
Not recognized.
It's not, you know why? Because it is not defined in the path of Windows variable of the current user. Let me show you what you are going to do.
Variables.
Yes. So let's go here to C drive where this XAMPP is installed, and as I already told you, in my case I use the default location. Let's go to XAMPP folder, and then let's go to this MySQL folder. Okay, MySQL folder, and then let's go to this bin directory. Bin directory. Bin is abbreviation of binaries. It means that in this bin directory, like in the Linux system, you know this, all binaries, all executables are stored.
Well, sorry.
Yeah.
On the map, do I have to find the MySQL?
Yes, you should. If you don't know, please Google it,
Okay.
because I didn't use. Just Google the location of MySQL. Where is the location of MySQL on map? That's it.
Okay.
And so here you see we have a lot of binaries. Please see. See? First binary that we should be familiar with is MySQL or MySQL daemon. So it's a service. Whenever we want to run MySQL server, we first have to execute this MySQL daemon. And you see here in XAMPP control panel, when we click like here on MySQL stop and start, in the background happens that this MySQL D is being executed. We can also launch it manually if you like. Okay. However, we want to be able to execute these commands from any folder on our system. In order to do this, we must include the path to this bind directory in our path environmental variable in Windows for our current user account. So let's do like this. Just copy this path, Control C, shortcut of course, and then, okay, just copy this path, please.
Path of the MySQL folder.
Yes. And just on Windows system, execute Windows pause, click Windows pause buttons to open this Windows main control panel. Okay, open this. And then please, you're using Linux, so it's different.
I already set it up.
Yes, good. Good. And then please go here to Advanced System Settings. Okay, go here to Advanced System Settings and click on this button, Environment Variables. Please tell me if you can keep pace, okay? Alex, are you using?
Do it
with other options? Okay, but you get it.
Yes, on Mac. But if it's already working, then should you do it? Or?
No, but I just want to show you and to have like. So here, you have here under system variables, we have this path variable. You just have to edit this. Okay, I'm going to remove this just briefly. And to click on this new button and to paste this. So all paths that are within this path environment variable, all commands from this path could be executed from any location of your system. That's why it is being used. Linux has the same like bash variables. David knows this, like with echo command, you could see path variables. And the path is like $path, dollar symbol path, and so on. Okay. So let's click OK and OK.
Just a second. Did we add a new path or we?
If you already have it, you don't have to do anything. Not here, but down on the system edit. Oh, yes. Just edit. And now click new and paste it. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, excellent. So now, in order so these new settings to apply, you need to close the command prompt and to open it again, of course. So, Georgi, please just close it. I'm going to type exit command. And now please reopen this. But this time I'm going to open this with administrator privileges. So right click, run as administrator. So now basically I'm switching to the administrator security context. So I can do more, I'm more powerful than the regular user. And now if I type MySQL, this command will work. So if you have troubles here, for example, if you have a message saying here that red message like I have for some other services, but if you have like red message here stating that you cannot start MySQL server because it is being used by some other process and this port is occupied, as we have had situation yesterday, I think, it means that you have another MySQL service running in the background, possibly from some other user account or some other service and so on. So in that case, first we have to shut down the MySQL. And for that purpose, we are going to use MySQL admin command. I'm just going to show you how to do it. For example, now I'm not having troubles, but I want to disable, to stop MySQL service. I'm going just to type MySQL admin minus U flag. That's for the user of MySQL database. Default user is root with no password.
Please look at the slide just to see the text.
Yes, please. Okay. So
I
default.
don't see it anymore. I mean, it's blurry.
It's blurry. Yes, we should yeah. But you
No,
can.
we listen. Yes.
Okay. So default user credentials for MySQL is root with no password. So just type it here. I want to log into MySQL admin to execute commands with user -u root, and I want to perform the command shutdown. And now you can see here that MySQL is shut down. So what if I want to start MySQL server manually? I just have to start MySQL daemon. So when we say a daemon, it means that it is a service. So do we know the difference between the service and the process?
Service in the process.
Yeah.
Service provides the process.
Service.
Service provides something.
So first, but in the context of operating system, not in the cloud context of everything. So there are many terms from computer science domain which meaning depends on the context, of course. So on the level of operating system, it's important to realize when we say a process is a program in execution. Very simple. It's a program that runs that is currently in the random access memory and that executes. However, when we say service is also the process, but it is the process that runs in the background. That means it is the process that has not got direct interaction with the end user. So every operating system has many background services, background processes, which are called services that runs and that we are not aware of their existence. For example, David could type the command proc, P-R-O-C, to see all services on Linux system, and we could simply execute here services.msc to see all services under our Windows system.
You have it in Task Manager, I think.
Yes, but I want to type, we are now
You're
more.
the guy who likes to type.
No, you know why? Because now we are looking into administrator perspective. Administrators are not going to use user interface; they're going to type. We are not regular user; we are more like super users or administrator users. Okay. Okay. Now you can see all services. You could stop service. You can go to properties. Here you can define the startup type of the service, so you can define whether you want this service to be disabled, so not to start, or whether you want this service to start automatically. It means that when your system boots, this system will be started, and so on. So if you have services that annoy you, you should go to services and to choose the startup type, for example, manual. It means that after the system is booted, this service will not be started automatically, so you should like manually start this service. So, okay, so if we want to start the MySQL service, so basically we are starting the MySQL daemon. So we just type MySQL D, and this daemon is going to start. But now we lose interaction with command prompt. I'm just going to close it, and when I open, if I type MySQL, we see that it started. MySQL is basic command used to communicate with MySQL server. Okay. However, I've just started another daemon, not from this XAMPP. I've started another daemon because I have many instances of MySQL on my computer. So I want first, again, to shut it down by using MySQL admin -user root, shut down. And now I want to start this daemon from XAMPP. Okay, but this is only in my case because I have so many instances for other purposes and so on. There are a lot of things here on this computer that run, so... Okay, so let's... so now, since we've implemented this XAMPP platform, so we have all infrastructure needed for our WordPress service. First, we need to create a WordPress database. We can use it by using a graphical user interface like this. Just type localhost /phpMyAdmin. And now we are automatically logged in to our MariaDB server instance with the user root with no password. So that's like default configuration. However, I'm not going to use this user interface. I'm going to do it directly from the console. So in order to implement database WordPress management, CMS, content management system, first we need to create database for WordPress and to create a new user for this database, and to assign a password for user and so on. We could use a different strategy. We could simply connect to this WordPress database by using the root user, but this root user is the root user and administrator user for the whole this database management system. From security aspect, it is extremely not good. So for each service that we implement within a particular database management system like MySQL, we should create a separate user. So each service should have its own user. Okay, that's a golden rule for this, for security. So for example, if we use the root user for all services that are on our MySQL system, we would compromise our security. Okay. So I'm going to close this. We don't need this. I'm going to command prompt. If you like, I could change the font of this to 28. Is it better?
Yeah.
Georgie?
Cannot start.
Let's see. Yours cannot start. Only Georgie. Oh, it means that it's used by another process. So, like I did
shut down.
You did shut down.
This is less good.
No. It says that it's not good because it gives you help file because you didn't specify the user. Oh, it's okay. Excellent. The control C. Okay, so just type it. So shut down. No. Sorry, MySQL -u root. You should specify the user and then just type as I did yes. And now please try to start it.
What is the for localhost?
PHPMyAdmin. Oh, it does. No, not hosts. Just hosts. It's like a symbolic name for the current computer. Oh, it's because of your go to details.
I don't care.
Okay, go. Yeah, you don't care because you know you implement this. It's secure.
This is nice.
But what do you have here? But you're not going to use this tool anyway. But certificate, yeah, that's because of your browser.
Yeah, go to low Adobe.
Please do it, please.
Yes, it's just.
Which this is what browser? This is Edge. Oh, I know. Edge, yeah.
Refresh the page, okay. Again the error, but.
Did you? You're using some kind of other. Do you know the user for this? Because you have some password for the root. You used SQL before. Okay.
No, I used it many times, but I don't remember anything.
Okay, let's try. Okay, so in the worst case, you will have to uninstall it and install it again, but it's not a big deal. Yes, but okay, but let's follow me, please. Here, let's try this way. We are going now to create database user for the database. So go to command prompt. And now, since we started with MySQL server with command MySQLD, like daemon, let's connect to this server. We just type MySQL minus u like user, and I just type the name of the user because I log in with root user with no password. If you have password, you'll type like -p, and then the system will prompt you to enter the password. Okay?
So I need to change.
You should know your password. But you know, in my case, when system prompts me to enter the password, I just click enter because I have no password in it. It's default installation and it's good. Okay?
Oh boy.
David, what?
You have server too?
No. After I ran the shutdown command,
What happened?
I can't connect to it. So I just want to restart.
No. Just type MySQLD in the command prompt. Alex, you're good.
Yeah, I will do it.
Okay, so let's create a database. So first I'm going to execute command show databases to see which databases I have. Sorry, show databases with S at the end.
You can't connect
You cannot connect.
for some reason.
What did you type?
The last one was shut down.
You should connect it again. Is it running?
Yes. I restarted it.
Many things.
Shouldn't have really shut down command.
It's running. Did you define a password for the root user? Like this socket is being used. It's the best to restart your system. It could be what I'm recording, okay? Okay, so look here. I should proceed because of the time. But David, if you didn't manage, just watch this video. Yeah, please. Or Google it. Google the problem names. Okay, so let's first create a database for this WordPress. I'm going to type create database. And now let's name this database like WP. I'm going to name it WordPress. Simple as that. Okay. Stefan, does it work?
Here, should I just type shut down and start again the daemon?
No.
I'm not sure.
Did you manage to connect?
No, of course
because you have something else. Let's see. Oh, you're connected.
Aha, so
Oh,
yeah, so this
that's
one okay.
it's
But
okay.
to the
It's okay, sir. It's you have it. Okay.
yeah,
Let's
okay.
create database. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be better.
You're just like user. Oh, how did you connect? It is.
No, just typed in MySQL and that's it. I didn't.
Aha. Minus user root. And now it will create. You must be connected with root account.
Okay.
WordPress. Okay, good.
I don't know how to go back.
Just Control C. Come back like this. Okay. Okay. So let's continue. I miss ticking. Okay, now I've created WP database. That's good. Now we said that due to security concerns, security issues, we should now create a database user. So let's create a new user. Create user. I'll put my name. You choose your name. And it should be a local user. And remember this. I'll put with these single quotes my name, then because at localhost. I should put this at localhost because it's a local user. And then I put identified by, and then I choose my password. Password will be Singidunum. This is my password, Singidunum. So I've just created user Nebojša. I must type suffix at localhost, and I chose the password Singidunum. Identified by Singidunum. So as you know, SQL is not case sensitive. However, it is a good practice to use uppercase for SQL practice. Sarah, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. So a new user is being created. Okay. So why? Aha. In my case, it is failed because I already have the same user, but I'll just like type Nebojša 2 at localhost, and now it is okay. Okay, so the next step. So I've created WP database. That's for the WordPress purposes. Now, after we've created a new user for this database, we must grant all privileges for this database to the new user. Okay, you remember this DCL, data control language for granting and revoking privileges. It's like this: grant all on, then we specify object. Object is WP database dot star. We want to grant all privileges for WP database and all tables, all objects within the database. To which user? To type user again, Nebojša 2, in my case at localhost. That's all we have to do. And now a little bit of SQL will not hurt, okay? You'll see on AWS when we deal with relational database, we will only have this console. So you're connected with it. So first create database WP, for example. Okay, maybe is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, then we create user, put like David. Okay, then localhost, identified. Okay, do it. Whatever, identified by you know. Yeah, okay, good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. So now we've created, so what are the steps? We created database, we created a user, and we grant all privileges to recently created database to this user. Okay, Mark, you know this, yeah? It's boring for you, I know. Well, it's okay. But later when you start visualization, Okay. Okay, so have we all finished this? Jovan?
I'm behind, way behind, so you guys carry on. I have a problem with the redirectory.
Okay,
I want to
okay.
figure this out.
And you see, when you start working with services at all, we are going to use an embedded Tomcat web server, but basically it's similar technology. So you should know
Tomcat is
all
similar.
technologies, huh?
Tomcat and Apache are pretty much similar.
Yes, they're similar. However, you can embed Tomcat in web services WAR file, for example, Java WAR file, which is excellent, really. Okay, so when you finish this, I'm just going to validate this. I'm going to execute show databases, and I should see that we have a WP database. Okay, so next step, please. Let me show you some other things. David, is it okay?
Yes, I wrote it down. So.
Okay, good. So let's do it. See here, for example, we have Apache web server.
You typed in create database.
No, show database just to check it, but you don't have to type anything. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
We should just exit from this MySQL console and again type exit, and that's it. Okay? Georgie?
To see the command for the databases.
Show databases. Just that. But you don't have to execute this command. Okay? Just exit. Yes, and again exit. I'm going to completely exit from this command prompt. So, look here. Every web server has a root directory. Root directory. It's like a starting point of web server contents. In this, the case of XAMPP Platform, if we go to this XAMPP installation folder, and if we go to htdocs folder, okay? So htdocs is default web root for Apache web server. So everything we put here, we can read from the web. Index is first page, you know this, it's PHP. Okay, let's test it briefly. Just let's test it, but briefly. I'm going to right click, I'm going to create a new document, like test. Test, but in this case I'm going to show extensions. I'm going to go to view, file name extensions. I should name this file test.html. Because I want to create like a testing HTML document, just briefly. And then I'm going to edit with, I don't know, maybe with open with regular notepad, why not? Okay? You just you could use nano command in Linux if you like. Just edit this document. I just created test.html. I'm just going to edit the document. With notepad, that's mad. I'm just going to write a simple HTML code, but just simple, to test the web server. Like we have a body, and we have a body, and we have like h1 testing HTML. That's it. Did you write this simple HTML code?
How did you change from text to HTML?
Okay, so Stefan, probably view file name extensions, and then you should see extensions which are hidden by default, and just change it. Okay. So now you learn some things from Windows also.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to close this. So the name of this is test, and I put it in the root of our web directory. So how can we access this test.html file via web or via web server? You just type it localhost/test. No, just http localhost/dos.html. You see, we accessed it, okay? Because we placed it in the root of our web server. Okay, does it work? It means that web server works, okay? And we will do the same with the WordPress. No. Let's control. What?
You can delete it.
Oh. No, let's do it. Grant all on WordPress .star to David Brace and localhost. Am I right?
Yes.
Just okay, change this and that's it. Okay, so let's now download the WordPress. Okay, let's download the WordPress. So let's go to Google.
This file you just created, I could just create any random one, right?
Yes, but if you like to test, but you don't have to do this. We just wanted to test our web server to make sure it works. So type on Google download WordPress. I'm going to use Windows version, of course. And go to this official site first, wordpress.com. Okay? And start with wordpress.com or whatsoever. Oh, we need the password. Why?
Actually, you don't need. You just go to download.
Don't we need WordPress org for site hosting?
Oh yes, org. Yeah, thank you. .org. Yes, it's better for this. Yes, okay, good. Now we can just click here, get WordPress. Okay, thank you. And download. David will download with this target. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's wait till the download finishes. I'm going to pause the recording. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so we've downloaded WordPress. First thing what we have to do is to copy this WordPress archive.
Or you don't extract it? Or?
Yes, we'll extract it here. We copy it here into the root of our web server. htdocs, please. So copy it here, okay? And then here, when we copy it, we need to extract this, okay? Okay. And when we extracted this, we got this WordPress folder, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the root folder now of our WordPress, so of our site, website. So we should give a name of our site. I'm going just to call it like Singidunum. I renamed this basically, okay?
WordPress, we
Yes.
the name of that.
Yes, just rename this, please. Okay, so now htdocs, as I told you, is the root of our web server, and this Singidunum, it is like the root of our website. So we need to access to this folder via our Apache web server, and then when we access, you see this is all PHP. When we access, a PHP script for the deployment of our website will be executed, but it will be all performed automatically for us. So we basically don't have to do anything, okay? So I'm just going to minimize this because we don't need this. And the root of our website is Singidunum. So we memorize this. So if we go here again to browser and type localhost / Singidunum, so the name of the folder we've just created, we will be able to access our WordPress installation. Okay? So under the hub, you see that this PHP script is being executed, and guided by this PHP script, we are going to implement our WordPress site. Very easy. We choose English language. Maybe we could choose like some other languages, but I'm not going to go into that adventure. I'll stay with English. And also, I don't like when something is on Serbian language related to computer science because it is really unnatural, but completely like. Instead of paste, we use nalepi or something. It's ridiculous. David, you don't understand, but when you learn Serbian, you understand this. Okay, like English, continue. Okay, now, Georgia, is it going?
Yeah, it's going.
Like, I actually cannot access the.
How? Let's see.
I don't know. No, the server is working. Here I need Singidunum.
Where is the slash or slash? There's obviously a problem with your browser, you know?
Yeah, I changed it to Chrome, it's not working too. So.
To Chrome.
Yeah.
It's not working, really. Let's use IP address instead of. Oh, what? You probably have a lot of stuff installed.
Yeah, and the PC I got it full a year ago, so I don't even use it. So.
Okay, you should use HTTPS by default. That's it. Yeah, that's so. Just type HTTPS localhost / Singidunum. That's
okay.
But you know, you import SSL certificate for some, I don't know, untrusted source, and now you have a problem with this.
Yeah,
But it's on the level of browser.
It's like when you install AdBlock, you get more ads.
Yeah,
Then you
yeah. It's maybe some kind of adware or malware. Yeah, I've seen this pop up. So that's it. So let's go. Database name. Now we should specify the name of the database we've just created. WP in our case, yeah. Username. Now we should specify username for our database. In my case, it's Nebojša2, but now without suffix at localhost. We don't have to use this suffix, I think, but we'll check. Password. What is your database password? I typed Singidunum, you know. We created users. Identified by, then we specify the password. Sarah, it's everything okay with you? And then the database host. It's the local host. You know why? Because the database server is implemented to the same machine. If we just create this application in a real world environment, like on Amazon, you'll see, we'll specify the IP address of the other server where our database server will be. Okay. But in our case, it's everything is local, so we specify local host. And this table prefix, you should change it. You may change it, but I'm going to leave it because when WordPress generates many tables in our database, WP in our case, all tables which start with WP prefix. But it's all the same for us. And just please click submit. Okay, and now if you got a screen like I got, it means that everything passed smoothly, so all credentials are good and everything, database name, and I just hit on run installation. Sarah, good?
So I'm missing some config file.
Configuration file. But you typed the right credentials, yeah?
Yeah.
Then it could be that
It suggests that I create the file manually and just paste it.
which file?
vpconfig.php.
Okay, it is missing.
Yeah.
But did you extract the contents from this archive?
Yeah.
Extract again, please. Because this file is obviously missing, it should be there because it's like a basic configuration file. Georgi?
Yeah, it works. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot the password.
Oh, Stefan,
I remember passwords for a minute or two and then.
you should write it down.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's okay. No, okay.
No, I already do everything, but.
Yeah, okay. So please then, like,
Write down. Yeah.
I'll upload like during the weekend this tutorial, this recording. So do it. Okay, please. Okay. So just hit run the installation. And now we should like specify some things like site title is Singidunum University, in my case. And now we should define again with password WordPress administrator credentials.
Is it possible to change your password?
Yes, of course.
Command line.
Yes, MySQL. Yes. Update user. Huh?
Okay, what should I write?
Update user. Set password equals.
Update user.
Yeah.
Then user.
Then user set update user. Then specify. Okay, just let me finish this and okay. Okay, just okay, please.
Okay.
Okay, just so a password could be randomly generated like this. So it's good practice to use strong passwords with at least, like Microsoft recommends, with at least 8 characters, but it should be more, with at least one uppercase letter, with at least one digit or number, and at least one special character, like @ caret, and so on. I'm going to use Singidunum password because I will forget it for the next time. It's very weak, of course, yes. Confirm use of weak password. Okay, I will take my chances. And my email, I'll put like this email. And install WordPress. So this is a WordPress user now, okay? Admin WordPress user. And everything is set up.
Should we use our student email or?
Whatever you like, because we are not going to use WordPress to connect with some other mail servers and so on, so it's the same.
You can use 10 minutes, mate.
I don't want to use it.
Okay, and just then we just have to log in. And we type my user is Nebojša with password Singidunum, and that's it. Now we can like build our WordPress site and so on.
Do we just click discourage search engines from inside?
Oh, you don't have to, yeah, because in this way your website is going to be cached correctly, so it will be indexed by search engines database. So when someone searches for keywords related to your website, it will be easier for you to find. Alex, this is boring.
This is dope.
It's just
I will do everything I told you.
you?
Yeah.
You?
It's boring.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's boring.
It's boring, yeah.
For Alex.
For Alex.
Right now. Yes.
Right now, okay. So we'll start with some other technologies. This is like first exercise.
And over here, I know that my password is not working. So.
Okay, David, just type this at command line. When you log into your MySQL server, type the following, please. Okay, I'm going just to write it. So alter user. Now David brace at localhost identified by and password. So instead of password, type your new password, please. So this will be your new password. So from Friday we start with virtualization and some many other things.
Here, type Chingidurum for password.
Okay. They will just type this. So that's all. Now we can like customize the website, add new features and so on.
What did you put for the credentials?